Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin highlighted parental rights in education as a major focus of his winning campaign in 2021. Well, Governor Youngkin's Department of Education released model guidelines that school boards are required to adopt. These guidelines include common sense approach to gender identity with male and female separated spaces as appropriate. Things like parents being informed of what's going on with their children. Well, this week, the Commonwealth's largest school district, that would be Fairfax County, they became the third district in Virginia to say that they are going to defy the governor's model policy and instead stick with LGBTQ ideology. Well, joining me now to discuss this is Victoria Cobb, the president of the Virginia-based Family Foundation. Victoria, welcome back to Washington Watch. Great to see you.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, listen, first of all, let's just go down this. I'm curious how the code in Virginia works. I mean, can Fairfax County and the other counties actually do this? Aren't they violating the law? I thought this was required.
So this is such an interesting thing here in Virginia because, of course, we have code sections, but rarely have they ever said, we're going to issue guidelines, but localities shall adopt them. That's a little bit of a tongue twister, honestly, for the average school board to interpret. But this started originally under our previous governor. This was their way of trying to force localities to adopt bad guidelines. And so Governor Youngkin is just coming in here and updating them with good guidelines. And so it is a little tricky. We do think education should be handled by the locality as best as possible, but Governor Youngkin's model policies actually line up with our code, whereas our previous governors violated the code. And that is that in Virginia, parents have a fundamental right to direct the upbringing of their child, including their education. They have a right to know. And so Governor Youngkin's guidelines are consistent with the law. And so school boards really are almost in violation of our code when they choose not to adopt them.
Yeah, that's what it appears to me. It looks like they're setting themselves up for a major legal problem if they continue to fight the governor in this, because, as you say, it's clear in state law. I want to play a clip for you and get your remarks. This was actually comments that made last month by a concerned mother, Jenny Gentles, at a Virginia Board of Education business meeting. Play clip 4, please.
Activists regularly claim that parents can't be trusted, presuming that they will harm their children. Yet the presumption should be that parents can and should be involved in their children's lives, and that their children are loved. These parents love their children.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the bottom line. Yeah, it looks like it looks like this school board. Yeah, let me just say this, and I want your reaction. The school board is saying they know better than the parents, it seems to me. But give me your reaction.
She is exactly on point. This is what every parent across Virginia is trying to say. Look, we want to direct the lives of our children. We want to be involved in the lives of children. No one knows better than a parent. And the idea that any school administrator, some person is going to step between a parent and a child and hide things from a parent. And that's what the old guidelines did. They really encouraged schools to deceive parents. And so you sit there and wonder how we ever got in the business of thinking that some adult knows better than a parent.
Yeah, I mean, that seems so common sense. It's stunning. There are some that are saying there's a difference between that this is just like what you just referenced, what's happened before. For example, Russell County rejecting the previous policies. How does that compare with what's happening now in Fairfax County?
Yeah, that's right. When the former governor issued policies, there were school boards that bucked those policies, and we encouraged them to do that because those policies violated parental rights. We actually went to court with our Founding Freedoms Law Center and tried to litigate them to say, look, they are illegal guidelines. They conflict with more fundamental statutes in our code. The judge threw it out because he said we weren't a school board and school boards had to have standing. And so we still never got to litigate that. But this parent is saying exactly what we know. And Russell County was violating parental rights. In this case, we have Fairfax County trying to say we know better than parents.
Well, Victoria, I just, you are in a major battle right now, and I just want to say thank you for standing firm. Your your courage and your stance just inspires others to do the same thing. And we here at FRC are extremely grateful for what you and the Family Foundation are doing. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thanks for having me. And ultimately, it's all about the parents who are standing up. We're just here to provide resources. So we're thrilled to do that.